Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Right.
Live from.
Okay.
Leslie, you have to unmute yourself.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
so
Okay.
we're streaming now. So I'm going to just welcome everyone to Art Matters New York. I'm Mark Safan. You know everyone else: Hans, Barbara, Marie, Marcia, Leslie. Hello.
Hello.
And we are going
Hi.
to take a look right now. We're just going to get things rolling right away. And we're going to take a look at Leslie's video, right, Leslie, was this last weekend?
This was last weekend. This is a studio tour in East Orange, New Jersey.
Great.
And unfortunately, in this first section of the video, there's these marks here, which I believe are on my camera, on my phone. So I clean them off, but they're this little shadowing here is not on the print. This print is actually a little bit different from the rest of the prints you'll be seeing, because this is strictly an intuitive piece that I put together with two different plates. These are actually woodblock prints. They're not silk screens.
Leslie, can I stop you there just for a moment and ask
Absolutely.
what you mean by differentiating this as an intuitive piece?
So a lot of the pieces you see were inspired. A lot of the pieces you'll see on the walls were inspired by photographs I took very, very long time ago at an abandoned pool in New Jersey. And there was one very interesting picture, and I made a print with my process of it, and I really loved it. So I went and used a bunch of the other photos. And what I do is, just so you know the process, and what you'll be seeing is I'll take a photo and I'll use it as a starting point, and then I will make a piece of art, and I will make a CAD file and send it out and have a wooden plate laser cut. And so I will print the black with the laser cut wood, and then everything is hand colored separately. So there's no plate for the color on any of these. It's just all hand done. So that's most of the pool series. And then there's two others of the large ones that are unique. And when I say intuitively produced, like this one, I don't have a plan. I just am playing, and something I like comes out. So,
But isn't that the way most of it happens? Isn't it the way most of our art generally?
I mean, yes, and
We just do what
actually,
we want, sort
yeah,
of.
I mean, there's intuition in every piece here, because I am just playing with the color, and
Right.
I do many small test prints with different colorways, etc., until I like what I see.
Okay.
So that is very true, Mark. It really is. This one is probably just one of the least thought about and processed pieces. It's just something I threw together, and I really liked it.
Okay.
There were some nice surprises in this particular piece. It is what I did first is I had taken a picture of palm trees, and it was a picture of palm trees where all you saw were the trees, and in front of the trees was a plain white stucco wall, and on the wall was a shadow of the trees. So it was a really nice photograph. And it inspired me to split the imagery with this color field on the bottom. But what I did is the trees, the plate of the wood plate is of the trees. And so what I did is I used this bright pink ink on top, which is very unlike me. And the bottom, it's like an ombre of yellow and orange ink. So I had two different inks on the plate at the same time, and I printed the trees. And then I put this color field over, which to me represented the wall in the original photo.
Mm.
And the bench is a very small plate that I wanted to play with. So I just stuck the bench on randomly, and I liked how it came out.
It's very enigmatic.
Okay.
To me, it just was an enigma. You know, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's appealing from that point of view,
Right.
I think, to me.
But
How big is it?
It's framed, it's 55 high and
Wow.
probably about 43, 44 wide.
Mm.
you don't have an image, you don't have a photograph or an image of that just straight frontal.
I think
you?
I do. I think
That
I
would be helpful.
okay. Yeah.
Getting tired of looking at this, you know, like
Okay, yes.
diminishing in space, in perspective.
I
But-
do understand. Okay, let me open.
I
But-
have to
but
make
what-
too many accommodations, and my mind is not, you know,
Of course.
agile enough for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know-
we're not AI, you know, come on. We're just human here.
Right,
But
right.
I find the piece, graphic, but I don't see the enigmatic part, Marcia. Where is it?
To me, it looks as though a bench is lonely, floating in space. What the hell is going on? It's not grounded, you
For
know.
me, it's grounded. It's like in the nature. The red thing are like, it could be palms, or I see palms. Leslie, are they palms?
Yes.
You see.
I'm going to share now the flat.
Great, great, thank you.
I will I will defer, Hans, to your superior knowledge.
Oh, thank you. This is so much better. Great. Yeah. Well, now it has like a nice graphic
Yeah.
sensibility, and the pink is pinker, and it somehow has a play with the turquoise underneath it. There's a nice
Yeah.
complementarity, you know, between the color
Mm.
and the bursts, you know, and just the pattern making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I think this it's interesting, and it's both calming and interesting at the same time. And I think this uses the best of your graphic background with fine arts. I think it's really interesting. I like how
You know, but Leslie, you know, when you mentioned about the abandoned, I guess it was swimming pools in New Jersey,
Yes.
I thought that that's what this was. I thought that this.
Oh,
that-
no,
that
I'm
I
sorry.
thought that the color in the foreground was supposed to be a swimming pool.
Oh,
Bench was
no.
sitting at the side of the swimming pool.
Yeah, no, the
It looks like
swimming,
water.
yeah. The pool, I guess I mentioned the pool because there's a series of those and they make up most of what I hung. This piece, there's two pieces that are not the swimming pool, large ones, and this is
Okay.
one of them. But what I like about this piece, well, first of all, when I first used the plate, I was disappointed because you don't know how a plate will transfer to paper until
Right.
you use, and it's not silk screen, so it's a lot harder to, it's a lot harder actually. And you know, I was disappointed actually in the plate because there's some, you know, you can see there's spots where things are missing, and it works. The small test plate worked a lot bigger than the large plate, but every piece of wood is different.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed and didn't think I would get a piece out of the large plate. But what I like about this is I like the pink color, and I also like the texture on the bottom. It's very
Yeah.
textual and has a lot of patterns in it.
Yeah.
You see
I
it?
like that too. Yeah, this texture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. I like this
I
piece.
do too.
yeah. See, it has like an edge to it, and it has like a lot of different color and texture.
Yeah.
So, you know, in person, I like that, you know.
So how many prints did you pull off from this combination of plates? Is this
Um,
just unique? Is it a one-off?
This is a one-off, although I did two prints with the large plate.
Mhm.
One that was the orange and yellow and one that was the pink. And then last minute, somehow, I guess I was just, what do I do with these pieces of paper? And I was, okay, well, why don't I try and print one that has, you know, both colorways on it and see how that looks? And that's what this was.
Okay.
And I could, you know, and it just, I realized there were other possibilities, you know, with the plate. I just needed more time. So this was kind of a last minute entry.
So were the palms, was that a separate wood plate that was cut, laser cut?
The palms are one plate, the bench is another plate, and the color on the bottom is just my hand coloring.
How do you roll the pink onto the plate without, because there's so much negative space, there's so much white space.
Yeah, well,
How do you roll that without getting, you know?
carefully. You roll it carefully, gently, and you know it's raised, so
Right, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know it's raised off the wood, so it's not quite that hard. But if
No.
I get marks on the plate where I don't want it, I have to mask it. When I get to the pool prints, there's a lot more complicated masking in those. This was pretty simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
And then,
bench,
what did you use for the turquoise bottom, the pale turquoise? Was that watercolor?
No, you can't you can't use watercolor on block printing ink because it'll just smear. So
Oh,
this is just more block printing ink that I make a lot of my own colors, and then you have to wait till everything dries, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
10
yeah.
days. And you have to wait at least a week in between, and then you can gently roll color on top of color.
A week?
At least, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very sticky stuff.
Uh-huh.
But the imagery itself triggers in my brain more like a feeling of colonialism.
right.
And I would, you know, give it, you know, the dream of Che Guevara dreaming of prosperity, or I don't know.
Really?
No, I don't know. I don't.
That's an interesting.
Oh,
Where do you get that colonialism from?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Palms,
in the
the
palm,
colors.
this bench, the suggestion of a pool, even it's not a pool, but it's so, you know, also the beauty, it's so English colored, you know, like this embroideries and nice clothes, and you know, Queen Elizabeth had clothes like that, you know, when she went to Africa and it was hot. You know what I'm saying? That she didn't sweat too much, and you know, it's like that. There is so much. I have a feeling of so much information about colonialism in it.
Wow.
Well, you know, it's like it's really I think it's interesting just because, you know, there's a lot of beauty to it, but then you have this like bench just sitting there with no one on, you know, it's black and white and there's nothing on it. There's no information. It's just sitting there. So it's kind of like
poignant.
yeah, and it's you know, I like that you could really come up with whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call it maybe a lost dream of colonialism.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so.
These colors are kind of very French Rococo.
Also, yes. Mhm.
I mean, I guess for me personally, I was kind of excited too, because for years my work was so dark. It was really dark for years. Just everything was black or you know, or copper or just very dark. And
Yeah.
people used to say to me, I love your work, but why don't you use color? And, you know, I didn't think of that when that was a long time ago that I had that commentary, but you know, when I was ready to use color, I used color. That's it, you know. So,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think the piece is very beautifully crafted, you know, and executed, you know,
Yes.
interesting, you know.
Yes.
But it's so interesting also, you know, with how these three elements, in a way, you know, what they do, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting.
oh, thank
You know,
you.
I could almost see you taking this, like the pink and the bench, just that part of the piece. It could be like a wallpaper design with just that bench repeating and the patterns, you know, of
Yes.
the palms, the pink palms. Could be interesting, just repeating that same pattern.
That reminds me actually, Mark, to Robert Gober's wallpaper.
Yeah.
But his imagery was then more like, let's say, about race or whatever,
Yeah.
and those
Sexuality, whatever.
exactly, you know, where
Yeah.
this bench would be then, I don't know what, suddenly.
But it
a
would be
piece
fun to
of-
play with this as just kind of pattern and you know, to push it into a. I mean, you don't have. You know, I'm just. You know, listen. I'm just riffing here. But
That's
that
interesting.
black and pink and white is really has its own thing, has its own quality that I think is very strong. And
Also, India comes to mind. India.
yeah, India for sure.
Where you know, where now you know, they are now hunting somewhere elephants or whatever, and that's how it looks like when they leave their mansion. You know, you have this empty bench. You know,
Yeah.
the owners are hunting or whatever.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank
So
you.
Leslie, are we going to see a video of this?
Yeah, so what we could do is, oh, that's a picture of me by the piece.
What is? We don't see it.
Oh, you don't see it. Okay.
No.
Do you have any other pieces to show us?
I have a whole bunch, but I don't want to take up the whole,
Yeah, please.
Not going to. Anyway, don't worry about that.
We don't have
That's
to
why we are
belabor.
here.
We are belaboring one picture. Let's not. Let's just go and see the stuff.
okay, so I'm gonna pause for a second. And let's see, maybe I can just, instead of me sharing one thing at a time, if I share my whole desktop, then we don't need to keep doing this. Okay.
I think Phyllis is joining us, which is nice.
Oh, really? Yeah,
I see her name.
that's good.
So, that's just a picture of me by
Nice.
the
Yeah.
piece.
This is a huge piece.
Yeah, it's very big,
Huh?
very
Amazing.
large.
Yeah, the next one has a sin. Wow.
Yes, the next piece is
I
Sin.
want to see them.
So I
Sin.
thought Hans would particularly have something to say about this piece.
About sin.
Yes, let me see if I can
You know,
open.
sin, the same word in Spanish, sin means without.
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 Sin. Uh-huh. You have a great order here. I like that.
Oops.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this, that's okay.
One second. We find the right one, the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay.
Other bench.
So let me see. I can. Whoops. No, that's not going to work. Okay.
That's the small version, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we make
yeah.
bigger.
No, we need the bigger version.
Yeah, we need the bigger.
I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this stuff.
You're doing fine.
Yeah.
Mm,
And I see how much work you have, which is so impressive. Oh my God, look at that.
Very impressive.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
I've been working a little bit.
Been working a lot.
Okay, so this is a very dark version though. It's not quite this dark in person. If in the video, you might be able to see. Let's move on in the video a little bit.
Okay.
See, there's something on the camera there. So
Make that
Yes.
screen bigger or no? That window with the video? Can you pull that across the whole?
no, I don't know
Stop.
why. I tried
Yeah,
that.
because it's vertical.
Yeah.
It's a vertical.
You
You can
right.
make it.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So-
That's the way it is.
Yeah. So this piece actually, this upper part has like a luminescent to it. It has like a green behind it. You can see a peek of it in the video here. So it's a very dark picture. If I open it in Photoshop, I can probably make it more how it is. You can see the lightness in the video compared to the photo. So, and this color, these colors here are way more interesting as well. I should really see if I have a better, more representational picture of it because it's losing a lot of its color in this.
But this scene, was it photographed on the street or did you find it or you did it?
No, I did it. I
You
took
did it. Okay.
pictures a very long time ago,
I see.
years ago, and I found them and thought they would be very interesting, and they were really interesting to work on. And at the pool, there was a lot of graffiti and a lot of, this is like a cement area, and then this dark green bluish area, and this is cement too, and those happen to be my sneakers. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm still confused as to what we're looking at. Is
You're
this
looking at a block. This is a block print.
okay? So this is okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a block print, and just I think to show you, I will show you, and I think I have it here. Another print I did of it that's a little bit different in colorway, and so that will help you. If I can find it.
So was it your choice to write the word sin on whatever it's sitting on?
No.
Okay.
It was there.
That's just graffiti?
It's graffiti, yeah.
Okay. That's what was my question too. So you didn't write that. You found that.
No, I found.
And you photographed it.
Yeah, there were all these.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, so there were all
That's how it feels also.
Yeah, there were all these pictures. I mean, all this, all these things at this abandoned pool that I thought were interesting. And I took the photographs, and I took them many, many years ago without the intention of, I never knew I would do anything with them. I mean, that was a really long time ago. I can't even remember what year. I wish I was looking for the other colorway. I don't see it here.
That it was when you were maybe 18 and rebellious.
No, I had, I had, okay, now how do I had, kids at the time, so it was quite, I don't know how I even close that window now. Anyway, okay, so the other colorway, this is not the brighter one though. I did have a brighter one, didn't I? Okay, so I had another colorway which had the shoes just white and blue, like very cartoonish. And then this part up here was like a solid blue, like the blue that was in the palm tree print. And this area didn't have all pretty, this has like really pretty details and texture in it on this cement piece. And there's a lot more color in person. There's a lot more color behind this. And there's a lot of like little pink and purple shades in this cement color that we're not getting in this photograph, I'm sorry to say.
Don't worry.
But I like this one better because I thought the blue and white shoes just looked sort of mundane and cartoonish. And I like, you know, the darkness of the top with the
Yeah.
words. And I liked all the details in the cement that are a little hard to see, but were very interesting. So
Yeah, the texture is so interesting, and I love this greenish black on the top.
yeah. Oh, there you go. I'd like to see the bottom part too. So yeah.
I think it's really interesting, and I'm going back and forth as to whether I like your shoes in the photo or not. But I think in a way I knew what it was because you had your feet there.
Oh yeah.
It is like a very interesting choice, you know, to leave your sneakers in.
Oh
To
yeah.
me, to me, it looks like I missed part of the conversation, but to me, it looks like there's an abyss, you know, above sin and above the word sin, as if that's like some sort of demarcation, and you're standing, you know, on the other side of the abyss, and you know, you're contemplating whether to sin or not, or whatever
Oh, that's interesting.
represents, you know, whatever that means to you. I think I like, you know, I like that idea that that's, you know, sin is kind of arbitrary, and that you're either on this side or the other side of it, you know, according to right, according to your
Yeah.
I can really see that, but I think
beliefs.
I think it would be boring without the shoes. Frankly.
Yeah,
I like the shoes. I like the shoes.
I do too.
The shoes are necessary to me to make
Well,
it
because the
interesting.
shoes also, you know, suggest innocence in some way, or vulnerability, because they
Yeah.
look like, almost like a child's shoe, you know, and also shoes,
That's true.
you know, our shoes are, it's, you know, it's like how we walk around, you know,
Right.
in the earth, on the earth, in
Right.
this life, you
Yeah.
know, shoes.
Or it's also the shoes of the fishermen.
So the production of this, you know, these are a little bit difficult because it's hard to see in these photos. But there's a lot of different colors going on in the shoes, and so that has to be, I have to cut out my own templates with tape and everything to color. So it's very time consuming, mixing a lot of colors, a lot of cleaning, stopping, starting, and then the sin is put on separately by hand. So it has to line up. So it's not just one pass, you know, it's a lot of, you know, little mini rollers and tape and messy.
I like it. I like the texture
Yeah.
of like what you're standing on and the sidewalk and the way that you have like really the three elements and then the red against the white and the black. I think it's nice.
Yeah.
I just wish all the color showed up because there's this beautiful like lilac color.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in
It's
some.
funny, Leslie, because you're talking about all these colors, but I think the power of what I'm looking at here is just the black, white, and red, which
Yeah.
is an interesting, powerful combination.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, used in, you know, that has been used graphically, you know, many, many, many times, just because of that powerful, you know, combination of colors.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the color in it is very soft. It's very
Yeah.
subtle.
Yeah.
I think it adds to it. Like I love black and white as much as the next person, but I think in this case,
Mm.
It just is such a more interesting print with these subtle colors in it for me, you know.
Where are they? Where are these colors?
So like, you know, there's in the cement particularly and in the shoes particularly, not so much in this. The sidewalk is pretty black and white.
Mhm.
Actually it's like a bone color. It's not really white. And then the top part, there's like this luminescent to it because there's a greens underneath the dark color.
Yeah,
So
that you can see coming through the
you
green.
can see a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting piece.
So then
Yeah, I like it.
I find now this piece more enigmatic than the other.
Yeah, I do.
Where is Marcia? Marcia.
Marcia's gone.
Walked off.
Marcia, look at the piece again. Here is enigmatic things
Yeah.
going.
He's going to keep using that word against me.
That's funny.
I personally would prefer this totally in black and white and red. I would think it's a powerful enough statement. And personally, if I put the colors into this, I would feel it would lessen the impact. For me, it looks like you're thinking of whether or not to go over the abyss into this wonderful world of sin. And lilac to me has no place in that world.
Marcia,
It's black and white and red.
Marcia, I think you're really coming out, you know, with the wonderful world of sin and the Nancy Grossman masks.
Yeah.
I'm sensing you're
Oh,
coming
boy.
out.
It's called Dirty Old Lady.
That's so funny.
My goodness.
I am telling you, when I saw those masks, I started to freak out. They're so fabulous.
Yeah.
But they bespeak a world of something I can't even fathom.
We're going to look at those after.
Yeah, but this is better. This is really
whatever. Well, Leslie, can we see the video?
Sure. So anyway, yeah, so that's
Can you center that on the screen or no?
Look at that.
Drag it over.
Mm.
There we go.
I'm trying to get rid of this other window and I don't know
Nice.
how.
Now it's behind somewhere. Yeah, we know this
Okay.
piece. Yeah.
I love those.
That's a nice exhibition you made. It's nice, very nice.
Very nice. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
I love
strong
that.
review.
So the ceramic spoons here are a student mate of mine, but the piece, this is an older piece of mine, this piece here. It's much older.
Oh,
Yeah. And then
nicely framed everything. Nice.
yeah, it cost me an arm and a leg. And
I'll
then
bet.
this is the last pool piece thing.
Look
This
at
is just kind of a wall. This is my salon wall of crap.
Yes. Right.
And
That is
that's
great.
a
Oh
piece
my
I did last year.
I remember seeing some.
That's a new piece. That's a new piece. It's a bunch of new pieces. Then the older pieces are on the floor. And then these are older pieces as well on
I
this.
love those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
How was the show? Were things sold? Were people in a buying mood?
well, you know, I didn't really expect to sell anything really large there. I got really great feedback with the pool pieces. People really loved them.
Sure.
A lot of people measured them, took prices. I was offered a couple of shows. So there's, you know,
That's really great.
yeah, and there's 2 pools I didn't really finish. So, you know, my favorite pool, which is the first one, the very first one is this one. And this was the inspiration for all of them, actually.
Yeah, I remember that piece we talked about.
Yeah, we did a long time
ago.
Yeah, I remember it too.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah. And I have a lot of little test prints of all of these in different colorways, and then I chose the one I like the best to make larger. So,
Yeah, yeah.
So that was
Mm.
the first one.
Mm.
Then the other one that was very popular at the show was this one, and
Oh.
this
Oh.
one was an awfully a lot of work. This one too. Well, they're all a lot of work.
Really?
Oh yeah, who am I kidding? Because there's a lot of me taping, masking it, because they're hand colored, you know, they're not just a passive color or a plate of color. So when they're hand colored, you get these like sort of darker patches, and you have to like cut out a lot of stuff for here. And I tried to put some different greens down here. And this reminds me of the sin piece. Again, you have someone standing on the edge of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this also from a wood block?
They're all from a wood block. There's nothing else here. Yeah.
Great
Do
piece.
you have a local person that cuts these blocks for you?
No, they're not local. Anything local is a fortune. So,
Hmm.
So who does? How do you do it? How do
so
you have these?
I send it upstate New York to a place.
Okay,
Yeah, which I could share
and they
that.
it's laser cut.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this one I didn't blow up yet because I didn't come up with one that I was happy enough with to blow up and make bigger, but I do love it. I plan on making it bigger, but I wasn't happy with the striping here. It was distracting from all this other good stuff. So I have to work on it.
Leslie, turn it upside down. You could.
It was upside down, but that's not how it works. So
Turn it vertically again. Vertical. Yeah. The other way. Other way. One more. There. That's kind of interesting.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
so,
You know,
These are great, Leslie. They're really great.
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
And this one I had done a bunch of times too until I got it right. And I hand colored the white on the here, hand colored, put some different blacks in, and had several versions of all of these. So
I like. Is this your drawing or is it graffiti?
it's
that you
graffiti.
copied?
These are inspired by photographs of a real place.
Okay.
I
And
like
this
Oh, wow.
this is another different one, and this
Is this a combination of photos?
no, well actually this one is a combination of different two different plates.
This is really such depth.
Yeah, I happen to really like this one.
I like this very much.
Yeah. This isn't the version I had framed. The one I had framed doesn't have the shadow in it. It's a little bit simpler, but it kind of reminds me of a Japanese block. And then there's and then the other, I'll just quickly show you two more. There's a couple of others I'm working on that just weren't ready. But I wanted to just show you the big one in the hallway, which I think is this one. This is actually a photo that my husband took, and he took this in Boone, North Carolina.
Can we see it again?
Yeah, I don't
see.
Oh, that's terrific. Very strong graphic. Very compositionally interesting. Compositionally, very well done.
Yeah.
I really do dig that composition.
Eerie looking.
Yeah. And then let me see.
I find your process so interesting with the wood block and then the hand. Gives you a lot of different.
Yeah.
marks that you can't get otherwise. It's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Very complex.
This was another one that I just, actually, this is not a current picture of it. Let me see if I can find a current.
So-
It might- Let's see if I can find a current picture of that one. It might not even help.
Mhm.
Because I ended up drawing into this one, and I was such a maniac to get everything ready that I probably did not even photograph the final one. But in the framed piece, I drew with color pencil, like it's very hard to see, but there's actually like drawings of fauna in the background of both sides in color pencil, very pale and very soft. So that's missing from these really quick photographs. And I had this hanging vertically because I didn't have room to hang it. No, I didn't have room to hang it horizontally. I happen to like it better horizontally myself. So there's that one.
Wow.
I know it's this is a wacky sculpture that I turned into a door stopper, which that's not a,
Oh, look at that.
sorry. That's
Three graces.
that's before it was fired.
Oh,
I really think that's it for the prints. I know I'm missing something, but that's a lot.
Well, kudos, kid.
yeah, yeah,
Kudos.
Oh, work.
Great work.
yeah, incredible. And you're going to have a show? People have offered you a show after seeing your work, I hope.
Yeah, so
Well deserved.
there's a couple of people who there's a gallery in Newark who's interested. There's a development group who owns a lot of big buildings in Newark and in Jersey City, and they want to put it in like lobbies, like do that type of thing.
Oh, boy.
There's
Ah,
So my goal is to there's one more plate that I haven't used yet, and then the one plate that is still small because I didn't finish the way I want. So my goal is to do those two prints, even just small, and make like a book or a marketing piece so that I could send it to places that I'd like to show them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's the goal with those. And I don't know if you saw in the video, but there's some paintings I sketched out that I would like to attempt to work on after I get all this marketing done. Yeah,
wow,
so
it's so impressive. All the best with it, Leslie. It's beautiful work.
thank
Oh,
Leslie, what are you talking about? What paintings that?
I had so let me see if I can show you real quickly. Oh, here you go. So
The body of work alone is impressive.
Yeah.
You know, do you have a chance to sleep?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a chance to sleep?
Well, since the tour, I've been sleeping a lot, but the amount of work to hang it all and clean the studio kind of set me back a little bit with my long COVID issue. So I'm have to step back a little, but I found all these sketches in my sketchbook that I thought were very interesting. And so this is an old canvas. I started to sketch on the old canvases some of these sketches, and I would like to see how they translate into paintings. So the color is very distracting, but I want to use the old canvases. And there's one behind it that's very interesting as well. I think I have the sketches. I think I have the sketches somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to spend time now looking for them, but I do have the sketches, a bunch of them somewhere.
We can put all these things, my goodness.
I don't know. I'm the big ones, they wouldn't fit anywhere in my world. So I honestly have no idea where I would
Mm.
You have to take inventory.
Yeah. So, let me see if I,
It's an interesting image, this one.
yeah. So if
Oh.
let me see.
Mhm.
I think the work is great though, and it looked like such a beautiful show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really a studio tour, but,
Mm.
let me see.
Okay.
Oh, Phyllis.
Hello.
Hi, Phyllis.
Yeah.
Hi, Phyllis.
I have,
Oh.
so I have like, oops,
Mm.
like weird sketches that I want to paint. So that's that.
Oh. Ah. Ah. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm trying to get,
Days of Monk.
Ah.
okay, so that's it for me. I'm
Great.
done.
Thank you,
Sure.
Leslie.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Kudos,
Thank
kid.
you. Thank you for sharing these.
Fabulous.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, Phyllis. How are you?
Phyllis,
Can't hear you, but
Ah.
we don't hear you.
Muted.
I think you have to unmute.
No, now again. Maybe then.
You're still unmuted for some reason.
Weird. Yeah. She's on mute, but we don't hear it. Weird, huh? Now you're mute.
Oh.
Weird.
So we don't see you or hear you at the moment,
Mhm.
but we will see you shortly, I hope.
Mhm.
Marcia, I have the Nancy Grossman pictures if you want to take a look at those.
Sure.
Why don't we look at those? Let's see.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Can you make that bigger, Mark? Yeah.
That.
Mhm.
So these are from, you just photographed these from your book,
Yeah.
from the book. Okay.
Mm.
So do you know, I don't know too much about her or these. So these were, do you know when she did these, what year?
I don't know exactly when. I think it was probably in the 60s.
Mhm.
I
Is-
could look it up, certainly. Let's see.
guys.
They don't have the dates here. 1972
Okay.
Mm.
on some.
So
Yeah, the 70s, I guess.
I don't really know the arc of her career, like when she worked, you know, and when she was, you know, became more well-known.
Mm.
I don't know
I
that much
just
about
started
her.
reading the book, so I can't help in that regard.
So was this considered early work, or did this work
Yeah.
put her on the map, or what?
Somewhat, I guess, in her mid-career. She was a gay woman
Hmm.
who was brought up in upstate New York,
Mm-hmm.
but her somehow, again, I didn't read the whole thing, I just started reading it. Her parents were involved in the garment making, and she brought that sensibility to wood, to fabric, stitching, and then ultimately leather.
Wow.
And she, I think she made casts of paper mache
Oh.
and then wet the leather and stretched the leather so that it would conform to the dummy, shall we say, that she made.
Mm.
And it's just extraordinary workmanship. But it has all kinds of overtones of S&M and just a different world, a world that just really, I personally don't know about, but I've read just a little bit about. It's haunting. It's just very strange.
Well, they're powerful. They're super
very
powerful.
powerful. That's
Yeah.
a better word, powerful. This is a guy with the zippers.
Mm.
And she made a number of the ones with the zipper. One of them I saw once a while ago at the Rosenfeld Gallery.
Yeah, yeah.
A while ago,
Mhm.
not too far away from Vytlacil. What was the name of the person who donated his home? Vytlacil.
Oh,
Oh, right. Okay.
From a tableau that Vytlacil made, like a very narrow, long assemblage of wooden objects
Okay.
in very natural colors. And it was at that show that I saw one of the leather masks. Oh my God.
Hmm.
This is an oh my God kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very powerful, very strong.
Very, very powerful.
I like the previous one, I think, more.
Here's another one.
Oh, God.
What kind of fantasy world?
Well, that's
Wow.
it is a fantasy world, but it's it has all those overtones as you suggested of sadomasochism and constriction and bondage, all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We all love, that we are all interested in that dark world.
That it's a very dark world.
Yeah, it is.
And
that second piece was a more crossover piece.
Well, that was the second one you saw, I believe, was a collage.
Yeah.
They're all objects.
Right. It was just much more.
Second one, this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's a collage.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It's just so much more interesting to me. It just has such a nice textural form.
But the other ones have much more power.
Yeah.
If I may, I would like to introduce you to a Swiss artist, which makes
Okay.
maybe you know him. Let's
Go
see.
ahead.
You mean Hans Witschi?
No.
How about
No.
Another S&M guy?
No. Do you know his art?
what's his name? Oh, Geiger? Are you kidding?
You have to find out.
H.R. Geiger?
Yes.
Okay.
Giger.
Giger, he's an illustrator. He's a futurist sci-fi illustrator.
He made all the figures for Hollywood. Aliens.
Alien.
He has also a very dark world.
He's great.
Xenomorph.
You know when you look up these things and
Was is xenomorph? What the hell is that? Xenomorph.
That's
isn't Xeno foreign?
But you see, he is very
Foreign body.
It's a sort of a surrealism also.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I think
it just there is you see here like
Wow.
you see that.
Uh-huh.
but he's much more of an he's
It's an illustrator.
it's illustration.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I know. But
But
still, there is
He's great, of course.
there's
He's
very
very, very
strange
good.
things, ideas, and
Jesus.
weirdness, and
Yeah, for sure.
Necronomicon. Necronomicon was
That
one,
looks like Alien. This is
Yeah.
Alien
Isn't it?
kind of imagery.
and it was very interesting. I think they asked for Alien Salvador Dali first, and and Salvador Dali was saying, no, I think I know somebody which suits much better those for this movie. And then Dali referred Giger, yeah.
So
for
Jaeger he did the illustrations for Alien?
Yeah, so yes,
He did the
illustrations.
concept.
No, they did then the three-dimensional things because of his
Drawings.
he made,
He art designed
Yeah.
right,
imagery, the
exactly.
sensibility, the concept behind
Wow. Okay.
Alien, the movie.
And when you were young, I had one poster that was a very famous poster that was on the ceiling. When I was in bed, I saw always this Giger thing.
Oh,
And that's this one. Let me see. It's very famous. This one. This is this gun,
oh,
which shoots out all these things.
oh my gosh.
Oh, right,
That's a famous. I think
Okay.
I had several. I had a feeling. There is one with you see more of the gun even. I don't
Well, that
know.
explains a lot, Hans.
Yes. You see, yeah. But still, there are some connections sometimes.
Yeah.
With
little
bonding, with
A little bit.
all this
Yeah.
erotic and death and blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
that's what I want to.
Okay.
Speaking of the fabric, well, this is not leather, but did anybody see the find of all of the? Oh, I love that. The paintings by Hines. It was mentioned in hyperallergic, I think.
Paintings by who?
Hines, the guy that's okay. It was a discovery. Oh, I can't find this blasted thing. I
think these are very, very strong and
Oh God, yes.
great pieces.
Great pieces.
And I think, let me see if I find another analogy here, maybe which you like much better. Let me see.
I just want to mention this Francis Hines wrapped paintings in fabric. The paintings were just found in a dumpster.
Really?
Okay.
Yes. And of course, there were thousands now.
I don't know who he
thrown
is.
out.
Spell the artist's name?
Hines.
Okay.
What his first name is. Francis.
Are you ready for another shock?
Oh.
No, but this is very important.
Bring it on.
I bring it on. That's Schwarzkogler. It's an Austrian artist, which is also, with the body, where the body plays a role, and all these things. Rudolf Schwarzkogler. You see that very, very disturbing stuff.
Yeah.
And also, of course, not leather now, but you know what I'm saying? It's about something. It has something to do with the body.
I see that.
And it's very, very disturbing stuff. Also,
could you give us one?
The Austrians made lots of action art. Like what's his name?
And
Nietzsche, yeah. and blood and so on, you know.
Oh,
And Schwarzkogler is really one of the first you see, which typical.
Take hold on. Go back to the one with the axe.
oh,
You are
Oh.
so
My God in heaven.
you are so
Oh, Jesus God.
look at that. Yeah.
Like Frankenstein.
That is so disturbing.
These are cultish. There's little.
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
And
Very
kind of
cultish.
kids
They're
also.
kind
That's a
of-
horror movie there.
Just reminded
Right.
me of the
Of
Frankenstein
course.
movies I used to watch.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
in that thing, you know, there is also a very famous Swiss artist,
Schwarzkogler? What the?
Bellmer.
Hans Bellmer.
Mm.
He
Well,
made, you see,
Hans Bellmer, yes.
this. He was much earlier, you know,
He's
Oh.
but
great.
very influential
Absolutely.
in that sense, you know.
Yeah.
And you could even see, look at this piece, you could even see a Giger again, you know,
Ugh.
very, or look at this. This could be Louis Bourgeois, you know.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, it's so Bellmer was
He was
very
very
early,
mm.
and he was famous for these little puppets, the dolls, and weird stuff, you know. So you can
Weird.
check that out too, you know.
Mm.
Now you see Hans Bellmer, Ruedi Giger again. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. So there are connections with this type of
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
body and so on, you know.
Yeah.
Which I would say Grossman is also somewhere there, you know, sort of. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, Marcia, with regard to Grossman, were those pieces consistent with her general output, or were they sort of an anomaly?
No. It seems that she was kind of all over the place, or so it seemed to me, between the abstractions, the painterly abstractions, the landscapes. She went then into people would give her, again, I haven't read the whole thing, I'm in the process, give her old harnesses, old, like cattle harnesses, horse harnesses. She would take it apart and put it together in totemic ways, and in some places it looked like weeping body parts. It was like very strange.
Hmm.
And then she's got these gorgeous landscape paintings and these collages,
Right.
and then the leather things. I mean, she was like very much all over the place. And it's hard to get a handle on her because she goes from beauty to strangeness, or from beauty to S&M,
Oh.
or from beauty to some other place.
But maybe there's beauty in everything. Maybe that's the point. If you
Yeah.
do it well,
Maybe.
maybe that's it, you know, it doesn't like,
It's in the eye of the beholder, I suppose.
no, I think that there's artistry in, you know, what we saw with Geiger, is that his name?
Yeah.
And, you know, they were very good artists. It's just that the images are on the dark side, but I guess
Right.
it doesn't matter because art brings beauty to everything, you know, and makes you want to look at it, even if you don't think you're interested in that. So I think for me, that's the point, you know.
I don't think there is a point. I think it's just a very personal view that is not apprehensible to many others.
Well, I think Marie is
Exactly.
drawing a comparison between the elements that an artist uses on, you know, as one thing, and then the content as something else, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
isn't the content the message?
No. Well,
depends. You know, it also works as a, you know, the vehicle is also very important, right?
It's
So
all
the
in,
way that it's portrayed, or the way that it's, represented or manifested, is it's what distinguishes, and distinguishes one artist from another, or the effectiveness, let's say, the power of the art itself is the way that the content is handled. So I think that both things are viable, both things are important, the content and its execution, the way that it's represented.
Mm,
I mean, we talk a lot about that here,
Yeah.
about how we
Yeah.
use the tools that
Right.
are that we use to convey some message, some aspect of culture, of content,
mhm.
right?
yeah.
What we
I mean,
do.
I also think what's interesting is like when I think about Geiger, I mean, he's such a phenomenal artist, and there's so much artistry in his work. And then, of course, then they made all these alien movies based on
Yeah.
all his drawings. But I think they could very easily be as interpreted not as, scary alien, like it could have gone in a completely different fantasy direction or world. So, I just think like a lot of art can be, it's just, a lot of it is interpretation. And I do agree with Marie that I think you could find beauty in almost anything. It's really pretty much almost anything.
I agree. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
If your revulsion doesn't get in the way.
Right. Right.
But Marcia, if I may, what do you find beautiful in Nancy Grossman's?
I don't find
'Cause
beauty.
I don't find that particularly interesting, or it doesn't appeal to me, but it appeals to you. So what is in that that's appealing to you?
It's not the beauty, it's the power. It's the power of the message, the starkness, the extreme vitality, and her own special point of view. I was just so blown away by her collages and her landscapes.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just masterful. I thought,
Yeah.
but these are like a whole different genre.
But
It's like,
that's-
oh my God,
that's-
it's like an oh my God.
Well, that's what Mark's saying, though, is that
But I don't find them beautiful. I find them powerful.
But
But-
there's beauty. I mean, there is
Arresting.
beauty to this.
you,
I mean,
yeah,
it's very reductive. She's
Yeah.
using language, leather, zippers, and so on and so forth. It has form, but it's the content. What it suggests is very dark and is very powerful at the same time.
Yes.
But the materials, the elements, the way they're crafted
Yeah.
is really perfect.
well
I
done.
mean, it's very, very clear what she's doing here, right? It's very well
Very
defined.
well done. Very,
Very well done.
very well done.
The forms are really, really interesting, and
For me, it's a
look at
raw-
that profile,
Yeah.
it looks like, I mean, if it were hammered metal, it would be medieval, right? It would be an armor.
Ah, yes.
When you look at it from this point of view, it's almost suggested of like a horse's head in a way.
Yeah, right. Okay, that too. So there's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
There's a
the
lot
way the
going
neck-
on.
The
I'm
way the
sorry.
neck is curved and those
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
coming.
Ah, this is great.
I love
Yeah.
this.
I don't like this as well as the
Really?
Oh,
sculptures.
I like them all.
Well,
I
It's
just
all part
do.
of- it's all part of what she
Indiscriminately.
does.
I mean, I think it's well done, but to me, it's not as powerful, but that doesn't matter. I can tell there's great artistry in
Yeah.
what she's doing. And so I think I really like how Mark
Well,
analyze this, because it's really, there's so much going on. What what we're looking at and how the artist interprets that for you, you know, and
Well-
presents it to you.
To me, when I first saw this, I
Mm.
right away, I thought it was very Hitlerian. It looked like a
Oh.
portrait of Hitler. It just, that was the first shock I got about it. It
Yeah.
resembled Hitler.
So
Okay.
dark.
Mhm.
It's I see that, Marcia, with the way the eyes are close together.
It's
And
just the first aspect.
Evil,
Yeah, yeah.
evil expression.
Very Hitler, like,
Mhm. Yeah.
and he's been in the news lately, as we know,
Yeah.
and his generals too.
His protege. You mean regarding his protege?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
Oh.
I'm going to buy this book because it's a $2 a day overdue fee.
Oh.
I've got to have this book. Got to.
Good for you.
And to examine her oeuvre much more closely
Mm.
because she is all over the place.
You know, I think that what we need to say and what we need to remember is that all of this is about the eye. We're looking at this,
Yeah.
okay? Whether it's her objects with the zippers and the black leather and the reflection, you know, of the leather, the way it's contoured, and so on and so forth, or this, we're using our eyes. We're responding with our eyes, right? And then, you know, whatever else goes on, our appreciation of it, you know, aesthetically, or the meanings that we draw from it, it all begins with the eye. And that's, I think, what we need to always go back to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's our job to put the eye where we want it to be, isn't it?
Right. Right.
In terms of composition, in terms of color, in terms of content.
Right.
And that's our job.
Yeah. So this piece here that we're looking at, you know, is very, it's very clear that there was an eye at work here. There's an eye making all these decisions, all these considerations, and resulting, you know, as a finished object, something that we enjoy and like to look at, although it has all kinds of, you know, ramifications, meanings, suggestions, but still, you know, I'm looking at, you know, the yellow, the brown, the violets, you know, the form, the rips, you know, the so on and so forth. That's all the eye, you know.
Yeah,
And that's what.
Of course, it's the eye, but I think there is also already translation into sculpture in this piece. You know, you know, I when I look at it, I of course my eye looks at it, but it's I get a strong feeling of a sculpture. It could be a construction with wood.
Totally.
This piece,
Absolutely.
you know, and that's actually the intriguing part here.
Yeah.
It's
Well, when you look at it, when you
It's
look at a
crazy.
Geiger, yes, the same thing. I mean, it's
crazy, you know.
it's a space, it's an illusion, you know, of course. So, you know, but all I'm saying is that, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, of course, that, you know, the tools, the elements are manipulated to, in this case, suggest an object of some sort of sculpture.
Excuse me, I just have to jump in here because I just sent you both from Bar Art an email on Francis Mattson Hines, and it's exactly what you're talking about, that the material is suggestive of form. He wrapped his paintings way before Christo and Jeanne-Claude.
Oh, really?
And these are these huge paintings that were found in a dumpster in Connecticut, in a barn in Connecticut in 2022. Do you see?
Really?
Yeah, I see your email. I'm gonna go see what you.
Is that recent that was found in?
Yeah, Francis.
2022, but there was just an article in Hyperallergic.
Oh, okay.
Did you send it to all
Do
of
you
us?
see
or
it?
just-
Yeah, I
sent
see
it
the
to-
Google thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent it to these guys. I don't know if you want to pull up the images. These are fabric wrapped paintings.
Yes, yes, do that.
So it's
Should I share this?
Please, please.
Do you see? Oops,
yeah, yeah. Will these be enlarged? Or
Yeah,
you-
yeah. But so first we have to find out what's here. Yeah, of course we
There
can.
he is.
Francis
Yes.
Hines.
Mattson
yeah.
Hines. Yeah, look at these things.
Wow.
Gee
That's
whiz.
amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it fits in with our discussion.
Yeah, of course. That's also interesting because here comes also Fabrizio Marcaccio again into play, which
Yeah.
we had years ago.
Yeah, but the imagery is different. I mean, this,
Marcaccio.
No, of
let's
course.
see, let's see that blue one,
Oh boy.
Which this one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just go through them. Just go through them.
These are very large, these paintings.
Wow. And these were
Yeah.
found in a dumpster?
In a dumpster.
I love
He
it.
actually, I mean,
Yeah, here, look.
Yikes.
Oh
yeah, there it
my.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Why
Apparently,
was he kicked out of his apartment or he died or what?
he died in 2016. And
Was he relatively unknown?
um
Or had he
no,
shown?
I think
Or
it's a rediscovery. I think that he actually was known, or to some extent, because there's work all over the internet of his.
Connecticut, look.
Well, it says that he had a lot of public.
Oh, there it just says right there. It said
Founding.
he
Wow.
garnered some recognition in
Recognition.
1980 using fabric to wrap
Yes, the
the
art
art of New York's
Square.
Washington Square. Wow.
Yes, before Christo did it.
Well, 1980 is Christo did it before 1980. He did it in the 60s. He wrapped stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes, really. Yes.
yeah. Christo is a long time.
Yeah, 60s.
Yeah, Christo is a long time.
Yeah.
I
Just
tried
look at
to.
I was thinking about the Gates, which is so relatively recent, the 90s.
That's very late, Christo.
okay.
Gates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wonder why he.
That was one of the last things he did.
No, this video is
Gates.
not playing.
Okay.
This video is not playing, but you can find those things.
Yeah.
Think.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
But I like looking at his work, Hans.
Yes, I
Can we
tried
go
to
back
go
and look?
back, but
It
saw
won't
Can't go
work.
back?
it's stuck here. Hold
Oh,
on. Hold on.
Oh.
You have to wait a second. I can't stop this thing anymore. Damn it.
okay. It doesn't matter.
Hold on.
Well, this is interesting, these photographs. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yikes.
Whoa.
I don't know
Oops.
where these things are now. I have to. Yeah, I think you can go by yourself into those.
Yeah.
Francis Hines.
Because my
Yeah.
brother
Francis Mattson Hines.
collapsing here. Yeah, that's interesting.
Extremely interesting. Oh, here it is.
Doing this contempt.
Dumpster in a dumpster? God almighty.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen now. Here, let's see. Where are we? Here. Okay, so share screen. And I'm going to go to mail, I think. Let's see if that works. Okay, I could go actually to
You can click on that link.
here. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Do you see the paintings?
No.
Not yet.
Sorry, let me do it again. Oh, here. That's it. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that,
So yeah, you can see in a way like this, for example, reminds me, at least the colors you can see from the era, are very Richard Lindner.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I see
You
that.
know, it's
Sure.
kind of, it's kind of pop in a way, the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet the imagery is something else entirely.
The imagery is very biomorphic, though, so it kind of
Yeah,
fits in with
yeah.
what we've.
This could be even the hanging bull of Rembrandt almost.
Yeah,
Or Soutine.
a meat carcass. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
are these
There's the
bandages?
ribs.
Is this fabric that's been painted or dyed and put on top of a painted canvas?
No, I think it's all painted.
No,
Oh, no,
he
it's
wrapped
fabric.
Oh, these
He
are wrapped.
things.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
that's what
wrapped.
I'm
You're
saying.
right.
They're wrapped.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I said Marcaccio comes to mind, because he has all these things around the painting.
I see. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's the thing.
Interesting.
There's a strange, oh,
Mhm.
Oh,
look at that. Yeah.
wow.
So is that actually wrapped in a
Right.
way?
It looks as though it's painted.
It looks painted, but yeah, it looks
bet
painted
it's a
to me,
combination.
but
I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure. Look, we see how we wrap.
so
It
here
is,
stretching.
Yeah. Nylon parachute fabric.
My God.
things.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So he
Let-
kind of paints with the fabric, I
Let me
guess?
see if I
Oh,
find
there it
something.
goes.
Look at this with the Washington Square Park. I thought it was the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
It's Washington Square.
Mhm.
What's interesting is
So 98.
that artists, I mean, he may have had some recognition and shown in galleries, but he wasn't part of the mainstream. So
No.
you see how at any time, they're artists lesser known or whatever get pushed out
Oh,
of,
yes.
of the, of,
Sure. The
and then
mainstream,
now,
yeah.
like so many artists are being rediscovered and whose careers are being revived because we're in a period that is
Look at that.
is
Mm.
not governed by any kind of
Ah, yeah.
you
A critical
yeah
Like there's no dominant, you're saying.
yeah. And
Fine.
so a lot of these artists are re-emerging
Well, he must
that
have,
were very interesting.
yeah, he must have been popular enough to get these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Or-
He got these commissions.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Pretty interesting. So this article is from the New York Times,
Oh, wow.
and it is from
Just the other day, I think, or last week or something.
Oh,
this is May the 3rd, 2022.
That's not where I saw it then.
This is from 2022.
Right. No, this is something I just read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Oh, Bruce forwarded this to me, so I don't know where he saw it. Mm. Look at that.
Strange.
Yeah, I found nothing in my archive, Marcia.
Oh, he had
and
the
what?
Kennedy Airport.
Oh, that's where this is? Ah,
Yeah.
aha.
It's funny, you have to peek through to find.
Look at that.
Port Authority. So
Wow,
he
had
so
a lot
he-
of installations,
yeah,
right?
so he did a lot. He did a lot.
Did. My
Public
goodness.
installations, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
The
the
Port
art,
Authority in the 80s and 90s was such a sewer.
maybe the art world, was thinking it was kitsch.
Mm.
Maybe. Well, didn't they think that about Christo at first too?
I don't
What
think
a
so.
No.
No.
Christa was always a conceptual artist.
Yeah.
And this doesn't look me very conceptual. This is as
No.
another
It's more
Because
illustrative.
it comes from somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
It's not conceptual. It's
No.
just adding. It's like adding the squeegee to the painting, you know, or whatever, you know, or no, you know what I'm saying, or you know, introducing, I don't know, some wine corks, or you know what I'm saying, other elements or whatever.
His large wrapping pieces, you're saying. You're not
Instead
talking
of-
about his paintings, you're talking about his wrapping projects. Hans?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the rap. I'm not so intrigued with his rap. It's so different to Christo.
I agree,
I have a
totally.
feeling, you know,
Yeah.
you know, he looks always that you have nice lines, and you know, with when he raps something, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's completely for me a
Yeah.
different thing going on.
I was
Well,
much
it is a
taken-
different thing. Why should it be the same thing? It's not. It's a different
right,
thing.
it's different. I was more taken with his paintings, the fact that he's wrapping all these paintings, and look at this. This is really a very nice holistic piece. You don't
Yeah,
get
it's
the
nice.
sense that it's
Absolutely.
But on the other hand,
It
to me, it looks very illustrational.
Right.
He was a commercial artist first, it said.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you feel that immediately.
You
So
feel it. Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
it.
and nothing against it, but I mean, you know.
No, it is what it is, it's,
Right.
you know, colors are great. There's elements that are great and it's well executed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
But
sort of fits in with a pop.
For me,
it's
it has
feeling-
more to do, like, you know, decoration, like windows, you know, or you know what I'm saying? It has
you know
more.
what? I just noticed. Did you notice in this piece that it's actually a doll?
Yeah,
There's
I
the-
see that. It's a figure, yeah, in a way.
Look,
Oh,
there's the
yeah,
figure.
yeah,
There's the
yeah.
figure. There's the head.
There are breasts
Yeah.
there.
Breasts. It's
Yeah.
a woman.
It's a
Yeah,
woman.
it's
These are
Leg,
legs.
Yeah.
arm.
I just
breast,
saw it
legs.
now.
Yeah. There are figures in some of the other pieces.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I didn't know. I just noticed that.
Can we
Right.
go back and see the other pieces, or we can't?
Yeah, we can go back here. Let's see if we can.
Ah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this is like a car. You see this? Here we are again at the same place. Hold on. Anyway, this one here, you could see, is
Yeah.
the grill of a car. With this
Yes.
bumper. You see that? Looking
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's taking, which makes it even more illustrational for me.
Yeah.
If it was more abstract, I would kind of like it a little more. To me,
Right.
it's a little bit too slick.
That's what yeah, it leans to kitschy stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Does have a
The leaning
Oh.
is kitschy.
yeah.
Peachy coo.
Coochie coo.
I mean, you know, no, I think it's horrible to find everything in a dumpster, you know, but it's one of the
God.
realities artists face, you know.
Yeah. Look at that.
It's wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, it look at the drippings. Go back to that one for a moment, please. Can
The
you?
blue.
You see the drippings?
Oh yeah.
It
Mhm.
kind of belies the fact that he's just strictly illustrational. That's sort of haphazard. And it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very strong painting.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, I like it a
that
lot.
too.
I don't think it's very strong. I think it's good. I think it's well done. I think the blue, you know, is beautiful and pops. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's, you know, I don't think it's that. I don't know. I find that, you know, it's limited. It's by its illustrational issues, I would say.
For me,
Yeah.
it's like 1940s, which some, you know,
Right.
1940,
Right.
it's a weird time, you know, which I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't like that.
You know what it is? It's taking, you know, certain things that are received, meaning certain known, established, defined
Mhm, mhm.
qualities, and using them. you know, in a painting, but it's already been done and it's already been defined. So what he's basically doing is taking these things and mixing them up in his own way.
Yeah.
But they're not things that he himself has generated or developed or, you know, or discovered.
And
Yeah.
when you think, you know, of lines like Hans Hartung, you know, the great abstract Hans Hartung, it's such another level. Or
Right.
Pierre Soulages, you know,
Yes.
which make really great, I mean, different things. So this is so much illustration at the
It's
end.
very,
The longer you look at it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to diminish it, you know, to judge it. I'm just talking about it, how it strikes me.
Oh, look at look at these. These are
well. That's, again, there's that figure.
You know, it's almost Picabia.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's so true. It's Picabia, but he doesn't know it. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know it. Exactly.
But if it were only Picabia,
in
other words, if it were only as what's the word, as irreverent as Picabia, but it's not irreverent enough. That's the problem with it.
Look at these.
Okay.
These are the meat ones again.
And Picabia was at the end more minimalistic in a way.
Yeah, he made his point.
I mean, you know, you wouldn't say that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Here it's too much, you know, in a way, you know.
Yeah.
It's an overload in a way, you know. I mean, which has some attraction, of course, you know, it has something to look at, and it's pleasing in that
Sounds
sense.
like he had a career with all of this anyway.
But, you know, it's easy to criticize, you know.
But that's our job. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I
We
think
analyze and intellectualize.
Right. And
with that said, we should actually close our session, no?
Yes.
Yes.
You can close it. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, listen, if you want to discuss something or you want to, you know, it doesn't have to be your own work. If you want to, like, well, you brought the Grossman.
That's great.
You know, we can do that, you know, just look at it and take, you know, go wherever it goes, just like we did today.
Yes.
And Hines.
And we had
absolutely. That was a good contribution, Barbara.
We had Leslie's beautiful work.
Yes.
Sorry.
Fabulous.
Well,
What were you
thank
saying,
you,
Hans?
folks. Thank you very much. Illuminating as always.
Yes. Thank you, folks.
Join us next week again. Goodbye.